Welcome to this video. You're going to listen to the real-life story of an explorer called Percy Fawcett and his mission to find a jungle city. There are 9 comprehension questions for you to try, and the answers will be revealed at the end of the video.
In the early 20th century, the Amazon rainforest in the north of Brazil was still mostly unexplored, which meant it held an air of mystery. Some people believed that it hid ancient civilizations. One such person, the British explorer Percy Fawcett, loved taking trips to the Amazon, which he called the last great blank space in the world. He became obsessed with the idea of discovering a mythical city, which he named Z. Born in 1867, Fawcett's entire adult life was one of adventure. He became an army officer at the age of just 19, and his military career took him to Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, and Malta. He also worked as a top-secret spy in Morocco. After leaving the army, Fawcett embarked on several trips to South America, where he made maps of uncharted territory in Brazil and Bolivia. Local people told him stories of a great city that lay in the Amazon jungle, which seemed to support old tales from 17th and 18th century Spanish explorers. When Fawcett began to discover small pieces of pottery on the jungle floor, he became convinced that such a place existed, even though many of his friends told him that he was completely misled. In 1925, Fawcett traveled to Brazil to find the lost city of Z. He was accompanied by his 21-year-old son, Jack, and his son's best friend, Raleigh Rimmel. They were chosen because they were young, healthy, and loyal. They had everything they needed to survive, including canned food, powdered milk, mosquito nets, and knives. Before starting the trip, Fawcett told journalists, "We shall return." Fawcett and his partners, together with 2 Brazilian men, went deep into the Amazon. They struggled to cope with the heat of the jungle and the huge number of insects that kept them awake at night. Nevertheless, Fawcett, who was still in excellent physical condition at the age of 57, demanded that they walk at least 10 miles every day. Eventually, they reached an area near the Xingu River. From there, Fawcett wrote a letter to his wife that his Brazilian assistants carried to the nearest town. The letter said, "Jack is well and getting stronger every day. Have no fear of any failure." But by 1927, no one back at home in Britain had received any further messages from Fawcett. Newspaper journalists that had previously hailed Fawcett as the greatest explorer in the world and a man who could overcome all the challenges of the Amazon now speculated as to why he hadn't returned home. Some said he had died of starvation or had become a prisoner. Others said he was living in the jungle like a native. One person suggested that he had become the leader of a tribe of cannibals. Some of Fawcett's friends went into the Amazon to find him and bring him home. Their mission in 1928 was not successful, but the fact that they could not find any bodies meant there was still some hope that Fawcett and his party were still alive. His wife, Nina, said, "There is still no proof that the 3 explorers are dead." Since that year, dozens more investigators have tried to find Fawcett, and all without success. A few of them even followed in the footsteps of Fawcett and his team by disappearing in the jungle, never to be seen again. Journalist David Grann, who traveled through the Amazon in 2005, discovered the best clue to Fawcett's story. He met a tribe called the Kalapalos, who had preserved a story in their oral history about meeting the British explorer. Fawcett, they said, was warned not to walk any further because there was an angry tribe that would not welcome him on their territory. He ignored the warnings and continued his journey. That was the last time they saw him. Even though the answer to Fawcett's disappearance might never be fully answered, his name lives on. He was not totally incorrect when he said a great city was hidden in the Amazon. Modern archaeologists have found evidence of ancient settlements that had come and gone long before the first Europeans arrived. These settlements had street networks and walls on the outside to protect them, and they were home to hundreds or maybe thousands of people. What's more, a number of them were in the same region of Brazil where Fawcett had hoped to find the lost city of Z.